I think Deshaun Watson is headed down a path for the NFL like we dislike the NBA, or for reasons we dislike the NBA, which is the players can have a coach fired, have a coach hired for that matter, and dictate what they do and don't want to do media-wise. Watson, I know, has some legal ramifications with it, but the Browns are saying they don't mind those. They just gave him a massive contract, fully guaranteed. With that in mind, is this... I mean, how many players in the league could say, you know what, I'm not going to speak to the media. No, I'm not going to show up and do an introductory press conference with my new team. Well, I'm not saying he's done that yet, but silence is deafening at this point.
Yeah, he's got to follow the rules, but the fines that come with not following the rules are so infinitesimal to him. Now, I don't think they're set number. I think they're case-by-case basis, but the league is not going to fine him such a substantial amount that it would make a difference to him. And so he could technically choose not to speak quarterback speaks weekly during the season and post-game generally if he's healthy. If he chose not to do that, and I don't know that he will because it won't help him once these initial rounds of questions are over in terms of helping your brand and everything. It helps to be on that football night in America montage with the witty one-liner after a win and all of that. But if he chose to do that and exert the kind of power you're talking about in this shift, he probably is the most powerful player in the history of the league based on this contract, more so than Brady at the height of his powers or Manning at the height of his powers, based on the money, not the winning. Because, look, he's got a dead cap hit next year of $219 million. They can't do anything with him.
Right.
You know, now they've got outs in the contract language about behavioral stuff and criminal stuff. But otherwise, if it came to a showdown with him and Stefanski or him and the GM or him and the owner, what could they do?
And, Chad,
that's the salary cap, by the way. $219 million next year is the salary cap next year.
But he counts, 40-something against the cap next year, I believe.
Next year, his cap hit is $54.9 million. But if they, for some reason, were in a position where they had to cut him next year, that it wasn't a legal thing where they could get money back, his dead number is the cap number.
And his base salary is in the 40s, and his base salary this year is $1 million, which is the bare minimum for a player of the veteran stature that he is.
Out. So they've catered to him. It's a coddling.
With that in mind, I mean, he has I would call it the NBA carte blanche. Just
he's the most powerful person.
If you want the coach out, if you want the GM out, you can demand it. And what are you going to do? Like, I would say Brady would have that power, and Brady was very selective where he's pairing himself with the coach, right? Like Brady would keep Arians. I'm trying to think of the other players that would have that power. Rodgers doesn't have that power.
I thought Aaron Rodgers had that power, but he did not execute that power with his GM.
He ultimately didn't have
because we had the same discussion, a year ago talking about this, or this offseason, not a whole year ago.
But they would have removed
where he could have easily said, it's him or me, and if he's gone, I'm perfectly happy.
So is Watson the only one? We don't know
but we also,
truly the only one.
To be fair, we don't know that he ever did that. Right? I don't know that. I don't know that.
I don't think he could have done it,
and I also don't know that Aaron Rodgers would have done that. It seems to me he would have played more coy than just flat out said, "Fire this guy and I'll be happy."
But I don't think he could have done it. I think he lost in terms of that power.
Well, I don't
financially.
I hate where this is headed. Okay,
yes,
I'm with Paul on this. Like I hate.
It's not good.
I hate that Deshaun Watson has this power, and it's a weird spot that everyone's in with Deshaun Watson, and it's blowing up right now in our YouTube chat. It made me think of this. And I'm trying to find the exact. We got a lot of comments today.
Well, if somebody's going to have it, you want it to be somebody that's not going to abuse it. And I'm not sure that Deshaun Watson, if things go sour badly, won't abuse it.
Well,
Tom Brady wouldn't.
Ken on our YouTube chat says, if I'm Deshaun Watson right now, and the, quote, media demands that I speak to them, within a split second, I'd tell them to bleep the hell off as quickly as I possibly could.
And he can do that.
Here's where we're headed, though, with Deshaun Watson. I said it yesterday. I don't want the NFL to play all sides of this. I want them to definitively say, we buy the 22 accusations that something was up and we're going to suspend the guy for it, and it's not time served. Or say, we believe Deshaun Watson, our employee, the justice system clearly believes him to some extent to not press charges against him, so we're backing him, and he's not going to be suspended. Don't give me a time served type statement. He set out last year, even though he's fully paid, and that's his punishment. That was no punishment. So don't play all sides of this. I feel like we're now entering into an era of the same thing in terms of Deshaun Watson privilege and what he's going to have in Cleveland and how he's going to be treated. There is going to be a faction of people who are going to say, this guy absolutely owes it to the league, to the accusers, to the city of Cleveland, to stand up there and answer for these accusations and speak to the media and sit there for 2 hours if that's what it takes. If he's in fact innocent, he should be able to sit there and answer questions. There's going to be a lot of other people arguing Deshaun Watson has been persecuted already by the media. He has been prosecuted outside of a court of law. Public opinion has buried the guy already. The grand jury said there's no charges. He didn't know anything to anyone. And everyone could just deal with it. He didn't have to speak to the media ever again in some people's eyes because of that. We're headed down this road where there's not, Hutton, to the question you're asking, there's no middle ground of what we normally expect from a starting quarterback in the NFL in terms of media availability and how they handle themselves. We're into two different extreme territories now.
I think you can find a player in the NBA in half the league that if they walked in and said, I need the coach out of here, they'd be out of there. Yep. Because they have the power and they have the guaranteed money and they are the luxury of the franchise. Deshaun has that now in Cleveland.